Hi everyone, today I'm here to talk about Highfire by Eoin Colfer. Finally learned how to say his name properly by looking on his website. Apparently pronounced Owen. And hopefully that is actually correct, otherwise I'm just making stuff up. But this is Eoin Colfer. He wrote Artemis Fowl. I think those are probably his most famous books or book series. And I love Artemis Fowl, so I went to a bookstore in Vegas. I've just been kind of wandering around, checking out all the used bookstores, seeing what it's like, blah, blah, blah. And they happen to have Artemis Fowl, the Eternity Code. I almost said cube. Now I'm doubting myself. You know what? I can check real quick. This is kind of embarrassing. I'm like, there's a cube in it. No, it is the Eternity Code. Just checked that. You know what? I'm going to keep that in here. It's Artemis Fowl, the Eternity Code. And I was like, there's a little cube in the book, but what if it's, when you psych yourself out? That's what just happened. Anyway, I was looking for the Eternity Code, the third Artemis Fowl book, because I had the first, the second, and the fourth. And I liked the first four the best. After that, I was kind of like, some of them are okay. I liked the sixth one and the eighth one was okay. But the first four are the best in my opinion. Anyway, so, and I was missing a third one, just wandering around bookstores. They happen to have it. And also in the kids section, right next to it was Highfire. So it's by Eoin Colfer. Picked it up. I was like, I don't know. I don't really need any more books. Opened it to the first page. Made me laugh already. So I was like, never mind. Heck yes, I'm buying Highfire. It's not a kid's book. Definitely in the kids section at the store. Definitely not a kid's book. Even on his website, it's like an adult book for blah, 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 by the guy who wrote Artemis Fowl, but it's not a kid's book at all. Maybe if, older teens, would be fine, 15 up or something. And I'm not one to put ages on books, because I was reading, Angels and Demons when I was, 13, right? So it's kind of whatever you think you're mature enough for, in my opinion. And if it makes you uncomfortable, stop reading it. But just based on the content material and what's happening in the book, I'd say, yeah, mid-teens up, but definitely not a kid's book. 10-year-olds can read Artemis Fowl and it's totally fine. 10-year-olds reading this, I'd be like, be aware, you know what I mean? So that was super funny to me that it was in the kids section. But Highfire is about a dragon, Lord Highfire, or Vern, as he calls himself these days, who is just trying to survive, living in a world where people want to kill dragons. It's set in the modern day, but, his whole race has basically been wiped out by humans over time, and he's the last dragon, and he's chilling and hanging out in a Louisiana swamp, in a bayou. There's probably a difference between a bayou and a swamp, but you know what? I don't know what it is. So if you do, comment below. And so it's about Vern, Lord Highfire, and this boy Squib, who basically becomes his human, not slave, his human helper, we'll say. He goes and gets him his food that he wants. He goes and gets him his vodka that he wants, etc., etc. And then it is also about Regent's Hook, who is this very, very corrupt cop who just really wants to sleep with Squib's mom, Elodie. And he's a nasty, gross, horrible person, and it's just about, there are three worlds all colliding and taking off and seeing what happens. And it was hilarious. It was really good. I super enjoyed it. I probably ended up reading the last 150 pages one night because I was just like, I have to know what happens. So really enjoyable. Like I said, definitely not for kids. Super well written. Had me laughing on page 1, which I always appreciate. And yeah, so I'd say it was really well written. But there was one thing that really bothered me, and I won't tell you the details because I don't want to ruin it. You should go read it. I thought it was a good book. But it is about a character called Waxman, and I just thought that his character had a drastic change towards the end, the end of his character arc in the book or whatever, and I was just like, nah, that was lame. I was not happy with that part of the book, and that, honestly, it really upset me because I was reading it, finished it, and I was like, that was really good. Except for this one part, and I literally went back and read it to make sure I wasn't was I psyching? Was I skim reading on because I just wasn't paying attention or something and thinking something else while I was reading, which happens to me sometimes, and I just have to go back and read things. But nope, it was just I remembered it by the end, and I was like, no, no. So that was bothersome, but overall, it is a great book. So I definitely suggest Eoin Colfer. I've read more of his books. Like, I remember reading The Supernaturalist, The Wish List. I think there's one called Airman, I want to say is what it's called. They were super good. I don't remember much about The Supernaturalist. I remember liking The Wish List and Airman. It's been a long time since I've read that one, though, so I should probably read that. There was another one. It's a detective one. Half Moon Investigations, I think is what it was called. I enjoyed that one. So overall, I think he's like a really good writer. I haven't read anything of his where I was like, ugh, except maybe like the 5th and the 7th Artemis Fowl book, but that's just because they weren't as good as the rest of the series. But anyway, yeah, so definitely check out Eoin Colfer. Check out Highfire. It totally made me laugh. I thought it was like a clever take on dragons and what they'd be doing if they were hanging out today, but also like dealing with depression because he's the last dragon and he's just lonely and like WTF, you know? So, yeah, and Squib just trying to survive in this world where that nasty Regent's Hook cop is freaking awful, man. Like, literally a horrible person. So, yeah, go check out Highfire. And because it's set in Louisiana, my question is, have you ever been to Louisiana? I have not. I would love to go. I would love to go see New Orleans, of course. But I'd also like to go out, like, into a bayou and, like, see how people live out there. Like, there are people that, like, probably still make their living fishing. And I say probably, I have no idea. Like, there are people that make their living fishing. I'm aware. Like, that's a thing still. And I'd be like, that'd be really interesting to see, like, how they live and, like, just the different cultures and the blending of cultures. I really like stuff like that. Like, I really like going around and seeing, like, the difference. Just, like, even something, like, silly. Like, I was in Texas a couple of months ago, and everyone, and I swear it was everyone, drives slower in Texas. And I was like, this man is like 65, they're going like 60 on the highway, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm used to driving like 75, 80 on the highways, right? And I'm like, how do you guys get anywhere on time? Like, you're all driving so slow. I swear it was a thing. Maybe just around Austin, because I was only in that area and like in a couple hours like radius around Austin, but I was like, is it just me or is everyone here drive slow? Get back to me if you live in Texas. You all drive slow? Because I felt like you're all driving slow. But anyway, so I would love to go down to New Orleans, love to see Louisiana. If you're from Louisiana, comment below. Let me know what I should see on there. And once again, this was Highfire by Eoin Colfer. Definitely check it out. Highly suggest any of his books. Like, just go look up his books online and see what, like, piques your interest and choose one and read it, because I've enjoyed all of his. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. Like, subscribe, comment. I do post videos. I used to try and do it like every Friday, but it's basically just whenever I have time to read and finish a book is when I'll be posting. So yeah, thank you guys so much, and y'all have a great day.